you have to feel that your life is about something bigger than you. It's not just about the daily survival and the daily routines of like, you know, you go to work, you have family, you attend to your kids, you cook, etc. You have to feel like in some way you're contributing to a higher cause, having a meaning to life.
Welcome to Tapping In. I'm your host, Marisa Grieco, and today's guest is Dr. Atusa Madhavi. Now, she is a holistic healer which specializes in integrative, functional, Ayurvedic medicine. Now, what's cool about this is everything, because it's all about wellness and making you feel good. She is also an Amazon best-selling author of the book, Holy You. And I'm super excited, guys, because today we're going to be talking about how to get back to feeling good again, how to get back to wholeness. And she is going to be sharing her tips and her techniques to help you guys. So I can't wait to get started. Welcome, Dr. Atusa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what does wellness mean to you?
Wellness is a general feeling of fulfillment and well-being within your physical body, but also emotionally and mentally, and also socially and spiritually. Mm-hmm. So it includes the whole of you, all of you, which is mind, body, and spirit. Or if you don't like spirit, you could call it consciousness.
So when someone comes in to see you, how do you work with them? So for example, if I came into you and I have either old programs or old beliefs, and I also have an immune system problem, mm-hmm. right? So I'm combining lots of stuff, and you were going to work with me. Mm-hmm. How would you approach something like that?
Yes, absolutely. So it comes with the recognition that you are a bundle of chemistry within you. So when it comes to immunity, like maybe it's an autoimmune condition, or maybe it's a lowered immune system function. That has to do with the chemistry and the physiology of the body. So with functional medicine, we make sure we perform certain laboratory testings that most of your medical doctors don't. And we get to the cause at the level of the physiology and at the level of the chemistry of the body. We recognize depletions, we recognize indeficiencies, or deficiencies, insufficiency of the functioning of the body. We also look at, do you have environmental toxins? What is your toxic load? Do you have heavy metals? Do you have mold in your system? So all of that basically is within the body, or the chemistry, or the physiology. Then the next level is the mind. So we look at someone who has a lot of old beliefs and sabotaging behavior, self-sabotaging behavior. The first step is to make sure that they gain awareness of their habitual thinking patterns, your self-talk. So if you have a lot of negative self-talk, the first step is to become aware of it. Yes. As soon as the negative thought comes to you, first of all, recognize what is that negative thought. Because people are so used to thinking in a certain way about themselves or about life, about others, that at the first instant, they may not think that is a negative way of thinking about something. So to basically instill a way of thinking that only serves you and serves a higher purpose for your life, we would have conversations. I would talk about mantras or affirmations, basically.
I love that. So, can you share a simple mantra? Because I love mantras. So what would be a mantra for somebody, say, that has low self-esteem, anxiety?
Okay. So for example, low self-esteem, you could say that you can repeat, I'm worthy of greatness. I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of abundance. I'm worthy of recognition. I am beauty. I am love.
I love that.
I only attract positive people in my life, loving people in my life. I so you could
Keep
just
doing that.
Yeah. And usually I have them write it down, usually in one sentence that can be memorized.
Okay.
And you keep repeating that. The best time to repeat those is when you are in bed, falling asleep, because that's where you have all the gates to the subconscious open. So you could program these seeds.
Yes.
And also the first thing in the morning when you wake up, because you're still in that in-between phases of sleeping and dreaming and awakening. So that's one thing. So looking at your thoughts, looking at your habitual emotions, anxiety can become a habit. Stress can become a habit, because all of those generate certain hormonal fluctuations in the body, certain chemistry and physiology in the body that could become addictive.
Yes, you're absolutely right on.
Yeah, and so so by doing certain breathing exercises or practices.
Can you teach us that one too?
Sure.
I know I keep interrupting because I love this.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So for people that are not used to at all doing any breathing meditation or practices,
right,
the first step is deep diaphragmatic breathing. So the way I usually teach someone the initial step for that, it's one hand. Generally, I prefer the left hand on around the belly button, over the belly button.
Okay.
And your right hand over your heart in the middle of the chest. As you hold that, you bring your attention to your breathing. With each inhalation, your belly and your chest rises or expands. With each exhalation, the belly and the chest contracts or gets, you could think about it as your belly getting closer to your spine. So I use that because a lot of times people are doing the exact opposite. When they inhale,
yes,
they're contracting their abdominal muscles and their chest. And so one thing that may assist is when you exhale, intentionally use your hand to press down on your belly. So that sort of programs that when you exhale, your belly has to sink in. When you inhale, the belly has to expand. And that kind of goes against...
That's great. Yeah. That's new, right?
Right. That goes against the training of ballerinas, belly in.
Yeah. Suck it all in.
Suck it in. Or like, models, like, suck it in.
Yeah.
And it's okay only when you're on camera as a model or whatever.
Yeah.
But throughout the day, having breath awareness is key for people with anxiety. And the emotion, you have to also recognize the emotions as they come in. So when you feel anxious, immediately you have to bring your attention to your breathing. Because there is also a pattern of breath, which is shallow breathing in people with anxiety.
Right. You always feel it like it gets shorter and shorter.
Exactly. Right? And sometimes there are long pauses that they don't even realize. And also the breath is only here at the level of the chest, very superficial. Yes. Not long, not deep, not slow. So even as I have, my students or my patients go through this training, the breath has to be slow, long, and deep, and without any fluctuation. So it shouldn't be jerky. Yeah. There shouldn't be pauses. It should be like as if there is a stream of oil pouring down, and then coming back up. Because you know how a stream of oil, how that pours down.
That's beautiful.
Very grounding.
It also gives me the visual, because I think of the pillar of light energetically. So I also feel it go through my heart, which makes me feel the bridge of the higher consciousness and that expanded love. And I can feel that love now coming into the lower chakras, which is the third dimension. So I really feel the embodiment of what you're saying, bringing that high frequency, that high feeling down into the third dimension, more into my body, and then bringing the earth energy back up. I feel the knowledge of Mother Gaia. I feel the grounding. I feel like unconditional love from her. So instead of me being connected to the static around me, automatically with this breath, I can really feel that alignment, which makes me feel more connected to myself as well automatically, which again has less anxiety because I feel that unconditional love for myself in the middle of it all.
Yes.
So that was an amazing tip. So after the mind, then what's the next step?
Okay, so spirit or consciousness. And that has to do with, if I could put it in simple words so people can understand it better, you don't have to think about being spiritual necessarily, because some people are more logical, less intuitive. Some people aren't, like they have allergies to the word spirit.
Yeah.
If I could say that jokingly.
There's a lot of weight to that word.
Yeah.
It means a lot of different things to people.
But one thing that is certain is that we all need a purpose in life.
That's true.
You have to feel that your life is about something bigger than you. It's not just about the daily survival and the daily routines of, like, you know, you go to work, you have family, you attend to your kids, you cook, etc. You have to feel like in some way you're contributing to a higher cause, having a meaning to life, having a purpose to life, and serving. That also is linked to our sense of legacy and leaving something that is worthwhile behind in this life. And that this life wasn't just about, okay, you're born out of nowhere, had no choice in that or say in that, and one day you're gonna pass on and you know, basically go back to the earth.
Which I think is most people, and that's why everybody feels so sad and broken, because they're like, what is my purpose when I am just doing that 9 to 5? And then that you don't even like to do, and then you don't have time to even think of the, like, what is my life purpose?
Yes.
Now, is that something you help people with? Like, is it connecting to that?
So at the basic level, people have to understand that it doesn't matter what their job is, what their career is, that they have to attach as many positive values to that job and to that career as they can think about. So they can create a list and write down the job description or the job title and everything that revolves around that career or that job, and really think deep about how is that contributing to others' well-being. Are you in IT? How is that making life easier for people? Are you a computer programmer? How is that contributing, let's say, to a better access to education and knowledge? And then break it down to more and more and more detail and connections to how is it touching someone's life in Africa? It's possible. If you're a teacher, and you would think that most teachers would choose that because they wanted to educate the next generation, right? But maybe that purpose gets lost, you know, in the stresses of that work or that job. Coming back to your main purpose, to your initial or original reason for doing a job. Now, for some people that applies. For some people, they say that I just do it because it helps me pay the bills.
Right.
Even more important for those folks to sit down and connect. Are you a delivery person from Amazon? How is that enriching the people that you're serving by delivering the things that they need to their home? And when they are ordering something, whether it's vitamin supplements, you know, that's health related, or other goods that they need for their life, sit down and connect. Have gratitude for what you're doing now. And that energy of gratitude would open other doors that will show you a path forward towards your higher calling. You have to always say yes to what is at the moment, have gratitude and appreciation and love for what you're doing at the moment. Even if in your thinking, you know, it's like a lower value job or etc. Unless you have gratitude even for that, and when you're doing that, you're doing it with the energy of the highest level of work, whatever you value at the highest. You have to be in that role in this job, whatever that is. And in that sense, you're opening doors energetically. The universe will respond to that and will open doors to better things.
What I love about what you're saying is, I just wrote something this morning where it was, you don't know all the angels that are around you.
Absolutely.
Because even when you talk about somebody delivering a package, somebody that's making my food at a restaurant, a waitress, whatever it is, those odd times where maybe you feel down, but one of those people approach you, and they approach you, gives me goosebumps, but they approach you with a smile, or they approach you from that light.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what they did or do, but I feel that light. And sometimes just that is enough for me on the other side to feel lit up. So if you are, say again, a waitress, a delivery guy, somebody that's in service to others, and you do get upset and you're just like, your identity is not tied to that job.
Right.
That your frequency though, like we sense it, that frequency is so yummy and it makes us feel, again, so good. Like even if it's for 5 seconds that I get that.
It's healing.
It's so healing. And you don't realize, again, that delivery guy, that he's seeing so many people throughout the day. So if he's carrying just that seed of, I bring healing and peace to the people I touch, how much good you're actually doing, or even the packages you're holding.
Yes.
When I receive that package, I can feel the energy that you put on there.
Yes.
And that can light me up. And again, as we light each other up, it's such a nice momentum of human consciousness to get raised and for us to feel that.
Yes.
I don't feel so good just you saying it. I'm like, yes, so true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, love is the highest energy frequency, right, on the planet. In the emotional scale, there are frequencies attached to each emotion. And if you operate at the level of love, you're vibrating at the highest level. That is where most spiritual masters, ascended teachers, etc., prophets, etc., were vibrating at. And so if you shift your emotions towards higher vibrational frequencies of gratitude and love, and compassion and empathy, that by itself is changing the energetics of the planet and gives rise to transforming human consciousness, which is really why we are here on the planet. Because with the physiology and the chemistry in the body, we have tools such as detoxification, nutraceuticals, vitamin supplements, chelation, and things to get rid of the toxicity within the chemistry of the body and physiology of the body. And that is something that someone with discipline can do when we tell them, okay, this is the regimen, this is what you need to do. But when it comes to the mind and the spirit, we're only guiding, you have to do it. And we're not there necessarily to basically make sure that every day you're doing it. So discipline is another important factor in the equation.
Now, what about somebody that has ADD? Because I feel like with that, like we're all set. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then we're really great at forgetting. It's like our minds naturally reset. And it's just like, wait, what was I going to do again? Like, was I supposed to think positive thoughts today? Or what was supposed to be happening?
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for somebody?
Yeah, for sure. If you forget because you are ADD, ADHD, or just distracted, etc.
Yes, distracted.
Yeah, yeah. So having a journal next to your bed.
Okay.
Having a notebook. Don't even call it a journal, because somehow that word journal for people with anxiety and ADHD,
it's like school.
No, I have to sit down and write this thing. So just have a notebook, next to you, And before you go to bed, write down in like basically 3 to 5 important tasks that you need to do tomorrow.
Oh.
Write it down. Once you put it from your mind, because now you're writing it, so you have to have, mind to motor skills, and there is a tangible thing next to you, you're going to write it down. So you're going to write down those important tasks that you're going to do the next day. Now, when it comes to self-care and taking care of your health at the level of the body, the mind, soul, spirit, etc., maybe it's, okay, tomorrow morning I have to, before I get out of bed, I have to say this mantra, this affirmation. Okay. Then I have to do my breathing practice. And all of that, literally for busy people, could be 5 minutes in bed. You could add another 10 minutes of physical practice right in your bedroom, on the floor.
I'm going to do some stretches.
Stretches, some push-ups, pull-ups,
Who am I right now?
You know what I mean? Like, depending on the individual, there is a certain, practice that would suit them better, etc. So write it down, 3 to 5 things that you forget all the time, that you have a tendency, right? Write them down before you go to bed, and the notebook is right next to you. So when you wake up, you don't reach for your phone, you reach for the phone, for the notebook.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really smart.
Yeah, because, this is another challenge or dilemma in this postmodern, high-speed tech world that we live in. Everybody, the first thing they do, they reach for their phone as they wake up in the morning.
Not the snooze button. That's just me.
That's funny. Well, that too. That too. But once you've done the last snooze and you're ready to wake up, people wake up and they reach for their phone to check either Facebook, social media, or, their emails, etc. But before you reach for the phone, sit on your bed, do 5 minutes of affirmations, breath work, gratitude.
Yeah, take time.
Yes. Yeah. Having a gratitude practice is really important to start the day, because that brings joy. And there is also sort of lacing the affirmations with the positive emotion, because unless you attach it, the affirmations need to be accepted by your subconscious mind that is true.
Right.
And your subconscious mind is not going to say, oh, this is true, that I am worthy of love and greatness and abundance, unless you lace that or sort of combine that affirmation with a positive emotion. Now, how do you find that positive emotion when you're saying the affirmation? As you breathe deeply and are having full breath awareness, is you have to, maybe there is something in your life that you're so grateful for. When you first attained it, what was that emotion of joy and happiness within you? Remember a time that you were so happy because of something, whatever that is. Don't think about it as a small thing. Don't think about it, oh, it was 10 years ago or whatever. Just remember that emotion. Did you have a pet that you loved with all of your heart? Did you get a toy when when you were a child and your world lightened up? The love that you had, like maybe you were in love at
just want to connect to that frequency. Doesn't matter what got you there. Find it and attach to that, attach that, bring that emotion and feel it. Go back there, smile, put a smile on your face, feel it. Now, sort of imbibe yourself in that emotion. Now say the affirmation. Say the affirmation with full breath awareness. That's when your subconscious mind believes that affirmation. Yeah. And then I remember you mentioning that you also, I know it's not your main thing, but you also do yoga work.
Yes.
And you talked about certain yoga moves helping people with specific things, specific patterns. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. So as you mentioned earlier, I do functional medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, and Ayurvedic yoga therapy. Now, I have a background as a Hatha yoga master teacher. So that was my first experience of teaching yoga, Hatha, which is the yoga of sun and the moon, which is the most traditional yoga, actually. Every other yoga branched out of it. But then when I studied Ayurvedic medicine, then this world of Ayurvedic yoga therapy opened up to me, and I took that on. So I got went to a certification program and took that on. That required yoga background and an Ayurvedic background.
I love that.
So with that, you learn what postures, what yoga moves and asanas and postures will benefit individuals with different health issues. Someone with Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism can benefit from certain yoga postures that are sequenced together.
Wow.
And it doesn't have to be an hour.
Right.
It doesn't have to be half an hour. As long as you do a certain preparatory before you get into those postures. And let's say someone with fibromyalgia, someone with rheumatoid arthritis, someone with osteoarthritis. There is a sequence of yoga practices that they all can do. Someone with infertility, someone with menstrual issues, dysmenorrhea, etc. When they have a lot of pain and cramping or irregularities, hormonal issues, basically. There is certain sequence of yoga postures that they should do. And when I have a patient that is working with me through functional medicine and Ayurveda, I also offer to teach them that sequence that would benefit them with that particular condition.
It's amazing. And now, what is the Ayurvedic medicine part of it?
Okay, so Ayurveda is the traditional medicine of India. It's been around for thousands of years. It is a complete medicinal system, included at the time surgery.
Oh.
Yes, it's the oldest known complete system of medicine on the planet. It goes back to the times of Vedas, which are the yogic Vedantic texts, etc., going back to thousands of years. Ayurveda basically means the knowledge of life. Ayur means life, Veda means knowledge. So the knowledge of life. But it was extracted from the same textbooks of yoga, the Vedantic texts. So there are four main Vedantic texts, original, like going back to at least 3,500 to 5,000 years ago. And some people say longer. And two of those texts are Thrava Veda and Rig Veda, are the main two texts that Ayurvedic principles were extracted from. And about 3,500 years ago, Charaka, who was a yogi but an Ayurvedic doctor, extracted those from those two Vedantic texts and compiled it in what is called Charaka Samhita, which is in Sanskrit but has been translated to most languages, including English. And that is being taught in Ayurvedic schools. And basically, it's the sister science of yoga because of that, because it was extracted from the same textbooks of yoga, sister science of yoga. And it basically incorporates, again, lifestyle, daily routines, diet, nutrition, and medicinal herbs, and detoxification tools. So just exactly like functional medicine. But functional medicine is based on Western science of medicine, and it includes laboratory testings, like the testings that most of your medical doctors don't even know about. But it's very science-based approach and evidence-based approach. Ayurveda has the same tools without the laboratory testing, but based on a traditional yogic Ayurvedic science of the Vedas for longevity and long life. Utilizes a lot of medicinal herbs that are classical, and most, unless you have studied Ayurveda, you wouldn't know about these medicinal herbs, because a lot of them are classical formulations, combination of herbs.
So interesting.
Yeah, and it's completely personalized to the individual.
Now, what about the different types of bodies?
Exactly. So that's where the personalization comes in. So we have different constitutions or bodies, or different constitutions, because it's not just the body.
Right.
It's also the psychology as well. And so, and the mind. And so you have different constitutions. The main ones are 3, vata, pitta, kapha. But most individuals are dual doshic, or they have 2 constitutions. It's not just vata or pitta or kapha. You could be pitta kapha, you could be pitta vata, vata pitta, or kapha vata or vata kapha. And so now, these 3 constitutions are based on 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air or wind, space or ether or akash. And so 2 of these elements get together and they have affinity for each other, even though they may not even, would not even think they can mix, but they do. So air and space get together and form vata. So vata is the elements of air and space. So when you think about it, both air and space have their own attributes. They're both cold, because air without fire or without the sun is very cold, right?
Yes.
So is space. Space without the sun is very cold. But also because air and space without water are very dry and very drying. So now we know that both air and space are cold and drying. So is vata.
Wait a second. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Now, can you also change that? Like, can I say, for example, that's my natural constitution, but I need a little bit of the grounding?
Yes.
Can I start to do exercises to bring in that other energy? Or is it just like, you are this, you're born this way? Or do you use them as tools, like kind of like you're cooking? Like, I need a little bit of this, I need a little bit of...
Yeah. So your natural constitution at the time of conception it's almost like your genetic DNA. And as we have an epigenetics for our genetics, so epigenetics means you could switch off the bad genes, you could switch on the good genes, right?
Yes.
That's the concept of epigenetics, that you're not bound by your genetic predispositions that you cannot step out of, right? Like, let's say, rheumatoid arthritis runs in my family.
Right.
That doesn't mean you have to have it. What determines whether you have it or not, it's your environment, it's your lifestyle, it's your diet, it's your daily routine. So Ayurvedic constitution at the time of conception, it's the bioelemental energetics that are acting as your bioelemental genetics, right? So if you live supportive to that bioelemental constitution, like vata or pitta or kapha, if you live in harmony with that, you can stay healthy. But how do you live in harmony with that? If you are a dominant vata, air and space, and cold and dry, you have to apply the opposite qualities. So you have to, for example, when it comes to diet, you have to have moist and warm foods, not cold and dry foods. But like attracts like. It's unlike the magnets that it has to be the opposites to attach to each other. In fact, energetically, like attracts like. If you are a vata person, cold and dry attributes are part of your energetics, you like cold and dry things. You like that cracker, you like that salad, which is cold and drying. Not that you can't have salads, but you have to
bring
a warm thing to balance that, like soup. Like have your soup first and then have a small salad with a lot of oils.
I love everything you're saying because I really feel like it gives me the tools to reach for, to look for, the tips.
Yes.
Right? You help me to naturally go, oh, I do feel cold or I do feel dry. Yeah. Let me reach for something else. Now, do you map that out at all in your book?
Yeah, there is a chapter on Ayurveda, yes.
Okay. So tell me about this. What's in here? Is it everything we've been talking about?
Well, yeah, there are 11 chapters in the book. Yes, we have touched on.
I know, because I love everything you're saying. Because again, you give me tools to reach for. You're not just preaching. And that's, I think, the best part. It's like, hey, if you're here and you need this, take this road. This is going to help you. These foods are going to help you. These movements are going to help you. This mantra is going to help you.
Yes.
And I think when we do this work, that's the most important thing.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Is the guidance, the tips.
Yes, absolutely. You know, people like me, people like you, people out there who are teachers, who are healers, who are doctors, etc. We are a guide and we give you tips. Right. One of my mantras for my life is that I want to teach people to be their own healers. I want people to be their own physicians, not in literal in the literal sense, but so you learn, you follow the guidance, and then you can now understand the signals of your body, of your mind. So accordingly, help it, heal it, serve it. In the book, I talk about what is this human system? What are the mechanics of the human system? So there is a chapter on body, mind, spirit. I bring in yoga, I bring in Ayurveda, and I bring in the Western concepts of it. That's great. And quantum physics.
Oh, so I don't know why that excites me.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
And that's one chapter. The next chapter is about the paradigm shift that is needed in our healthcare system, from sick care to wellness care, from sick care to holistic care. And that's the second chapter. Then there is a chapter on Ayurveda. There is a chapter on nutrition and food. There is a chapter on functional medicine. There is a chapter on, did I say detoxification? No, a chapter on detoxification. And remember, like each chapter brings in multiple tools for detoxification, for example, for diet. So in the food chapter, I bring in Ayurveda, but I also bring in functional medicine, nutrigenomics, blood type diet, because this is not a cookie cutter approach. You are not a cookie cutter approach. You are a unique individual with your own footprints and unique constitution, unique nutrigenomics, unique genetics that requires individualization. So in each chapter, I bring in the different angles of how we look at someone that you can best understand your own body and apply the unique perspectives to your own individual constitution and physiology, basically. Then there is a chapter on yoga and yoga therapy. And each chapter, by the way, ends with a homework and assignment. Very simple steps that you could follow to enhance your health. Yeah. And then there is a chapter on mindfulness practices, and there's a chapter on breathing practices, breathwork. And the last chapter is just demystifying the myths in health and healing. So it basically breaks the certain programming that has been injected into our system or programmed our thinking about what is health, what is healing, what should be medicine, etc. And so some of the myths, for example, is there is a quick fix. There is no quick fix. So the quick fix, I wait until I don't feel well, then I go to a doctor and they write a prescription. I'm looking for a quick fix. I have headache. let me take this Excedrin, quick fix. I have high blood pressure, give me these pills and statins and cholesterol meds, quick fix, right? We need to break that programming and replace it with, there are no quick fixes, and health is not an absolute constant, but a relative dynamic process. Replace it with that. It's a long life process. There are no cookie cutter approach. We already talked about that, because you're an individual, unique being with your unique set of physiology, genetics, constitution, nutrigenomics, etc. So no cookie cutter approach. And pain is not bad. We are so bogged down by the experience of pain.
Right. This hurts me, get rid of it, as opposed to, why is this hurting me? What's causing this pain?
Exactly.
How do I heal?
Perfect.
How do I heal the energy that is causing this pain?
Exactly.
Wow, you are simply brilliant.
Thank
you have given us so much incredible information. I feel like I want to sit with you for like 5 more hours just to pick your brain.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And I cannot wait to read this book. And you can get this book on Amazon, which is super exciting. And we'll definitely put a link for you guys, because it's got so much amazing information.
Thank you.
Thank you again for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you guys for tapping in. Until next time. If you want more, please join our community at marisagreco.com.